Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today, let's predict the price trend of SoFi technology stock. I am a swing investor, and I will not consider the price changes of a stock 1 month later. This channel only makes short-term price predictions for stocks, usually 1 to 3 weeks. Welcome to subscribe to this channel. SoFi technology stock fell sharply by 5.4% on Friday. The intraday bulls tried to push up the stock price but were suppressed by the bears, which shows that the current correction pressure faced by the stock is still very large. Of course, the high-weight stocks in the financial sector did not perform well on Friday. Technically, the stock is still in an upward trend, but the sharp drop in the stock price on Friday made the bulls somewhat passive. The stock still has the risk of further decline, but the support position of the stock is also very obvious. The stock is still expected to rebound again in the short term. From the 30-minute chart of the stock, we can see that the trading volume was significantly enlarged when the stock price was at a high level from June 11th to 12th. There should be a lot of funds flowing out of the market here, so the stock price failed to rise further and formed a certain resistance in the area above the current price. The stock struggled to move downward on June 13th, and the bulls tried to push the stock price to rebound but were suppressed by the bears, which shows that the stock has great selling pressure, and it seems that a large amount of funds have flowed out of the market again. If the stock price rebounds at the current position, it will face great resistance, because there seems to be a large number of locked positions waiting to be sold in the area above the current price. But if the stock price is adjusted further downward, the support position of the stock is also very obvious. The stock stopped falling at $13.20 on June 4th and rose further, accompanied by a large trading volume. There should be a large amount of long capital involved here. If the stock price falls further, there is a high possibility that long capital will intervene in the stock again in the area above $13.20. Through the position distribution of the stock, we can see that the stock currently has a large number of positions distributed in the $12.70 to $14.40 area, and the current price of the stock is in the middle and upper part of this area, which means that there is still a large amount of long capital in the low position of this area that has not yet exited the market. If the stock price falls further, there is a high possibility that the bulls will block the bears in the area above $13.50. But we also see that some of the profit-making capital seems to have exited the market above $14.40. If the stock price rebounds, the stock will face the dual selling pressure of profit-making capital and locked-in capital. In the absence of major good news, the stock's rebound space does not seem to be large. The stock has a huge fan base, and many investors are optimistic about the stock because it is a young all-digital bank that is growing rapidly. Although the company faces many challenges such as multi-year high interest rates, geopolitical tensions, and student loan repayment deferrals, the company has repeatedly proved its strength and balanced the growth of revenue and profits. The company is currently profitable. SoFi has achieved GAAP profitability for 6 consecutive quarters. The company's first quarter earnings per share were 6 cents, and it raised its 2025 earnings per share forecast to between 27 cents and 28 cents, higher than the previous forecast of 25 cents to 27 cents. In addition, the company previously expected earnings per share to be between 55 cents and 80 cents in 2026. The company is optimistic about achieving 20% to 25% annual earnings per share growth after 2026. Despite SoFi's seemingly optimistic outlook, some analysts are not optimistic about it. In the past 3 months, 13 Wall Street analysts have covered the stock. Among them, buy ratings accounted for 53.8%, hold ratings accounted for 23%, and sell ratings accounted for 23%. The average price target given by these analysts for SoFi shares is $14.40, which is the same as the current price. The highest price target for SoFi shares is $20, and the lowest price target is $6. On Friday, Israel launched a series of airstrikes on Iran, causing energy prices to rise and technology stocks to fall, but the conflict seems to be escalating. Iran confirmed that nuclear facilities were damaged. Iran's foreign minister called the Israeli action a clear act of aggression. Iran launched multiple rounds of airstrikes on Israel in retaliation for missiles fired during Operation Rising Lion, killing at least 2 people. If Iran continues to launch missiles at Israel, Tehran will be destroyed, Israel's defense minister said on Saturday. Although the current conflict is still controllable, there is a risk of further escalation. If both sides continue to throw missiles at each other, then this may bring greater selling pressure to the stock market. Let's go back to the daily chart of the stock. If the Middle East conflict escalates, then the stock may still fall further on Monday. But as the stock price falls, the stock will also enter the support area, and there is a high possibility that long capital will intervene in the stock again, so I think this wave of selling may not fall below the $13.50 level, and then the stock may experience a rebound. But as mentioned earlier, the resistance in the area above the current price of the stock is very high. Although the outlook for SoFi is very optimistic, the good news in the short term has been digested by the market. In the current market environment full of uncertainty, even if the stock price rebounds, the rebound space is not expected to be large. Technically, if the stock price rebounds under the dual selling pressure of profit-making capital and locked-in capital, the stock may still encounter short seller suppression again and cause the stock price to pull back or fall again. So I set the target price of the stock in the $12.70 to $13.50 area. Okay, guys, that's my price prediction for SoFi Technologies stock. Thank you for watching. If you agree with my analysis, please share and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.